Welcome to the 6th edition of BritishBoxing.net's podcast. I'm Will Hale. This is the podcast, now listed in iTunes, and tonight we've got a fantastic comeback show for you. We'll be kicking the action off with an interview with Terry Dunstan, of course returning to the ring after 9 years out of the game. Then we've got our very own editor Ian McNeely. I'll be chatting to Ian. Plenty to talk about with our editor. Firstly, Haymaker Promotions' first card, and then David Haye's next fight, recently announced against Monty Two Guns Beret. Kev will be back again, third up with Jon Thaxton, of course ahead of his latest crack at the European title. Then I'll be taking things overseas a little bit. We're going to go to Africa, to Ghana, and we'll be chatting to Osumanu Akaba. Of course, he's made 3 visits over here recently, losing to Paul Truscott and at the weekend Ricky Burns, both close decisions those, and of course he made his name in between, defeating Tshifua Manyai. And finally, ahead of Mickey Steeds' clash against Rob Norton for the vacant British Cruiserweight title, I'll be speaking to trainer of Mickey Steeds, Mark Rowe. So to kick things off then, is Kevin Taylor chatting to Terry Dunstan before his return to the ring against Paul Bonson.
Okay, Terry, you're making your comeback after nearly 9 years out of the ring. How you been doing in training?
Have I been in training? Well, I've been fine. I've been doing what I'm usually doing, but I'm working a little bit harder because I'm 40 years of age.
And how hard is it to get your licence back?
It was part and parcel. A lot of people think I've just literally come out of prison. The way I've been out literally 4 years. It's just literally ironing down, dotting the I's and crossing the T's. I've been training hard for the past 4 years, getting myself back into shape, and because through the people in the central area, which is Gibraltar, I've literally regained my licence.
Was it quite a hard sort of process to go through, or were they quite?
It's a harder process. I mean, things have changed. Things have changed from the time I boxed. People have literally come and gone, and all people can literally remember is what I went in for, which is not the case. Half of it, like I said, the papers I've had have literally blown certain things out of context.
You got Paul Bonson next week.
Paul Bonson.
How are you feeling about that?
Paul Bonson, he's at 120. I don't really look into I've never looked into fights. All I know is he's a person that comes to literally survive, comes to give you a good stiff fight. But like I said, see if I've still got it, and people judge me. That people judge me on on my performance. Don't look at the old Terry Dunstan. Old Terry Dunstan was a bit reckless, a little bit playful. This one ain't.
I was talking to Howard yesterday, and he said you could still go on and have another world title fight. Do you think that's the case?
I'm looking at another couple world title fights. A lot of people were entrusted in me when I was boxing. A lot of faith, and it's just a lot of people was saying, have I got it? To tell the truth, you can't mix crime. You cannot mix crime with training. You either put one aside or whatever. That's what's literally gone wrong with the British, with the public itself and so forth.
Yeah. What do you think of the current cruiserweight scene?
Current cruiserweight scene. Couple of old faces there. But if there's anything, I can't understand how comes certain, all the other countries literally made it deteriorate. Boxing's on a deterioration. There's more money in football and so forth, as you can tell by the Premiership, the quality of players. Now it's time for the quality of boxers to start literally doing the same thing. You get your big money fights, which is like you with your Ricky Adams, your David Hayes and so forth. But like I said, come and gone. Come and gone is the times of Nazim Hamid and Nigel Benn. That was the heyday of British boxing.
You've obviously got the British title on Monday night. You're going to be watching that to see if there will be future opponents here?
It's like I said, it's nothing. It's a little bit older, a little bit wiser. All it boils down to, I do my thing, and we're all on a collision, all of us. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not ducking or diving anybody. Whatever they put in front of me, I'll have to take care of. Either overseas or over here,
Okay. And so sort of, you're not worried about anybody like McRanelli or anybody like
that? No, well, it's like I said, I'm a little bit older, a little bit wiser. Don't waste shots. I ain't got the time to literally far passing about or whatever.
No.
So directly there, it's for the people to worry about me.
Okay. Oh, well, good luck next Friday.
Thank you very much.
I'll talk to you again soon.
Well, thanks Kev and Terry for that one. Wonder what he's got left, old Dunstan. Right then, on with the show, and let's have a word with Ian McNeely. He was at Haymaker's first card 2 Saturdays ago at the Huddersfield Leisure Centre in Sheffield. Okay, Ian, how did Ryan Rhodes look on Saturday night?
Yeah, well, Ryan's the type of fighter that can be frustrating to watch because he's obviously got a great amount of skill. And, I always sort of pull him up for failing to box in sustained patches because he is very good, and he'll hit you with 2 or 3 really good shots and then he'll stand back. I mean, I thought he was brilliant against Gary Wolcombe. I thought he took him apart. And I think he expected the same to happen with this Jamie Coyle guy, but he was just having none of it. I mean, last week it was absolutely brilliant, and I think Ryan sort of realised after that 10th round certainly that he wasn't going anywhere, and he eased back. So he's still definitely got the skills. He's not as elusive as people might think he is. But it was a decent performance. Not always going to be easy nights at the office. Had a British title fights,
Ian, for those fight fans like me who've been around for a while and seen the old version of Ryan Rhodes 10 years ago, how is he compared to today?
I think he's better now. He's more experienced now. He hits harder, I think, now. He doesn't look quite as attractive. I do say that as a heterosexual male. But Ryan himself said recently that the Ryan Rhodes of now would be the younger version, and I have to concur with that. He's learned a hell of a lot in his career. So I still think there's something to come from Ryan Rhodes, yeah.
On the undercard to the Ryan Rhodes fight, you had Derry Matthews making his return against Martin Lindsay. What happened?
Well, unfortunately for Derry and his team, what happened was he suffered one of the most devastating knockouts I've ever seen in the flesh. I mean, I have seen it on television since. But the sort of magnitude of the knockout just doesn't come across quite as well. It was sickening. I mean, I just thought it would be a guaranteed hospital admission, which it was. But I'm not a medical man at all. But I was amazed that they let him get off the canvas as quickly as they did. He was boxing reasonably well, although he was holding his right hand down a little bit. But I mean, Lindsay boxed a rather strange fight. I hadn't seen him before. The first 2 or 3 rounds he came out, his hooks were coming. He was throwing his hooks from row C, and